What's going on, everybody? You're watching The Sit Down. I'm DJ Sixsmith. Jerry O'Connell's in the building.
Yes.
Jerry O, coming to TV soon. How are you, man?
Great. It's a pleasure to be here.
And you're going to be doing the show in New York?
I'm going to be doing the Jerry O show. It's I'm taking over Wendy Williams' slot. It's on Fox stations all over the country, and it's going to be starting August 12th.
Nice.
It's a little scary because I mean, Wendy Williams is obviously
big shoes to fill.
One of, if not the best in the daytime world, in the talk world, as far as I'm concerned, and it's a little scary. I mean,
I feel you. Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I guess failures. Like if we fall on our faces, that'll be super scary.
What's the scariest part to you?
I got to tell you, I'm just saying it's, I guess, failure, but really, it's going to be such a fun show. I don't think it can be a bad experience. You know, it's really fun working in the daytime world because you can't tell from this interview, but it's like super. I'm a fun guy. You know, I mean, like I have a good time. We just did some. In the business, we call it MOS.
What's that?
Man on the Street.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out, Wendy has the catchphrase, "How you doing?" And I was trying out all of my new catchphrases with like New Yorkers, and it's just
really forgiving crowd, right?
It's a really fun place to shoot a show.
Yeah.
I mean, people can be really rude, and it's just so funny me trying to come up with new catchphrases, and people like, "Nah, man, nah, you can't do that." I think it's going to bring a smile to everyone's face.
Definitely. It's tough to come up with a catchphrase right off the bat because whether it's talk show host, an announcer, like it's years and years of doing this
thing. They really, I'm not kidding, they ask for catchphrases. Like,
I'm not
they're
surprised.
like, hey, what do you think your catchphrase is going to be? And I was like, what?
Can I just be myself?
Well, I've never thought in terms of like, check it out. Like, I mean, I've never talked like that.
Like the most unnatural thing you could think of.
What up? Like, I mean, what do I do? Like, Howard Stern has "Hey Now,"
right,
and that's the best.
And that's legendary. Yeah.
Of course, Wendy has "How You Doing." I guess to keep it CBS, Bob Barker had "Remember to Spay and Neuter Your Dogs and Cats." I think your boy still says that on The Price is Right. Remember to have your animals spayed and neutered. What are other famous catchphrases? When I was a kid, "Good Morning Vietnam." That was the late great Robin Williams. "Here's Johnny."
Right.
These are catchphrases. I mean, what am I going to do?
Right. So those are like a select few that have hit, and think about all the ones that have it.
I mean, yeah, and I just don't speak catchphrase.
Right.
So maybe I wasn't made for this daytime stuff. These are jokes,
or you just do
everyone.
daytime, just being Jerry. You know, that's what people want.
Oh, I think Ellen has a catchphrase too. It's oh gosh, I forget Ellen's catchphrase, but I'm very inspired by Ellen in daytime. She's always having a good time out there. She's so good. Super inspired by Andy Cohen, my boy.
Yeah, you were hanging out with him last night, right?
We did a little talk at the 92nd Street Y.
Nice.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, they have like a lecture series at a YMCA at 92nd Street, and that was super scary because, I mean, Hillary Clinton has spoken there, and Justice Ginsburg has spoken there.
Some heavy hitters.
Yeah, and then I'm coming in there and being like, what's my catchphrase going to be, Andy?
Andy, help me out. Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a different, maybe because I'm filling in Wendy's slot starting August 12th, everybody. Maybe I'll just like change the inflection of "How you doing?" Maybe I'll be like, "How you doing?"
There you go. Yeah.
How you doing? Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah, you keep the theme going. Why not?
Oh, it's going to be interesting filling in her slot because the show is called The Jerry O Show, August 12th. I know I said that. But we have to keep it, we have to make it different because it has to be a different show. I can't just be doing a copy of Wendy Williams. That's her thing, you know? But it's so funny because it's like a 3-week test. We can't make it too different because people will be upset, you know, because people are tuning in to see. Listen, I'll be upset.
Absolutely.
I tune in every day to see my Wendy. That's my news. That's my. I mean, I love her, but that's my Nora O'Donnell right there. I get all my daily info from Wendy, so we can't stray too much from her formula, but we're just going to try something new, and I think people are going to really dig it.
That's awesome. So you've been in this game for a long, long time. I mean, taking it all the way back to when you were a kid, like, how did you first get the bug to do this whole thing?
You can look it up on the internet. I was in a movie called Stand By Me when I was young. I was a preteen. I was 11 years old, and it did really well. It was a hit.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that was 33 years ago.
86, right?
86.
That's wild.
33 years ago. Crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
And people still talk about it today, you know? So that really kicked it off. But I went to, high school and college after that. And then I started acting more as a young man. Right after I got out of college, I did a show for Fox. The network did the Jerry O show.
Comes full circle.
Called Sliders. It was a science fiction show, and we did that for 5 seasons. And then I played a cop on a show called Crossing Jordan for a bunch of seasons. And I got into the talk show stuff because of my good friend Kelly Ripa. Kelly Ripa was testing out co-hosts because Kelly and Ryan is obviously a 2-host show, and I hosted with her
a bunch,
a lot,
yeah,
dozens of times. Maybe even, I mean, I'm not keeping count, but maybe over 100 times, you know. And Kelly's the best. I mean, she's the best as a friend and a person and a mom, but Kelly Ripa is also the best at what she does at her job.
She's got it down.
She just does it with ease. You know how Jordan just pops a shot and he looks like he's not even like breaking a sweat? She's just got a flow. She just comes out and there's a flow, and there's no, I mean, you can tune into the Jerry O show August 12th, but like I still get like a little nervous going out there. I get like, I mean, not like anxiety where
but just natural nerves. Yeah.
Freak out, but like I like there's a difference between who I am now and who I will be when they say, here's Jerry O'Connell on the Jerry O show. But Kelly, there's no she's Jordan. Boom.
Yeah, it's
pop.
a gift.
It's a gift. It's a God-given gift.
Absolutely.
And to sit, I mean, closer than you and I are right now, across from that hundreds of times, is a gift to me.
It's a good way to learn. Yeah.
It's the best way to learn.
Absolutely.
It's the only way to learn.
Yeah.
And you're also learning on live TV, you know? I mean, you're learning on air.
Right. It's absolutely trial by fire.
It's trial by fire.
And you have the audience right there, too.
So I really learned a lot from her. And then, a couple opportunities came up on Wendy to fill in for her and help her out. And it was funny going over to the Wendy format because Wendy Williams does something that no one else does, which is that 20-minute hot topics at the beginning. I mean, Wendy sits there, mano y mano, camera y audience. That's it. You're getting her and stories and you. And Wendy does that with ease. There's no difference with who Wendy is while she's in that purple chair and when she's off that purple chair. And I want to tell you, the first time I hosted that Wendy Williams show by myself, it was the most nervous I've ever been in my life.
Wow.
About anything.
Wow.
Any date, anything
period.
audition, any crazy ride on the subway, anything. It was the most nervous I've ever been.
Wow.
And it really is true what they say. Do things that scare you. Because when I was standing there, when Wendy comes out, it goes, "Here's Wendy," and the doors open up, and then Wendy comes out, and she does the whole how you doing thing. I was standing there, and there's a stage manager named Brendan. He's such a nice guy, and I looked at him and I went, "I don't think I should have done. I wasn't sure I could talk for 20 minutes straight about whatever the 4 stories were. I mean, it's not like I'm sitting here talking to
No,
you.
it's a much different situation.
It would be like me sitting here for 20 minutes and just talking
nonstop. Yeah.
nonstop for 20 minutes about 4 kind of shaky stories that I don't.
And it is just you.
And by the way, I'm not an expert in these stories. It's not like I'm like
you've just brushed up on them this morning.
In who is remaining on Love Island? What happened on Love Island last night?
Right.
It's not like. By the way, have you had any of the Love Island people?
Have not yet.
It's
no.
gonna be exciting when they start rolling
absolutely.
through.
Yeah.
It was really scary, but after I did it, it was like a drug. I wanted to do it again.
Yeah, it's intoxicating, right?
And so they were kind enough when Wendy goes off the air in August. I'm sure everybody's going on a vacation to the south of France or whatever. In the hot days of August, we're going to be
dog days. You ready for it?
Dog days. We're going to be taking over. So it's going to be fun, and I hope people check it out.
That's cool. So some people in your situation, they may not have gone to high school or college. Why was that an important thing for you back in the day?
Oh, because I was an actor, a child actor. I don't know. My parents just were sort of insistent on college.
What do you remember about the NYU days?
I went to New York University. I had a great time. I loved. I went to their film school, Tisch, and I actually was more in their writing program. I've written some stuff. I wrote a movie called First Daughter, starring the beautiful and amazingly talented Katie Holmes as the president's first daughter. Michael Keaton was president, directed by Forrest Whitaker. So I've written a little bit, but I loved college. I had a really fun time there. I loved NYU. I loved the experience of going to school in New York City. It's the whole city is your campus.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's nothing like it. I went to Fordham in the Bronx, so I spent a lot of time in New York.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you did Jerry Maguire right after college?
I was in Jerry Maguire right after I went, literally right after I went to college, right after I graduated. I played Frank Cushman, who was the #1 draft pick. It was so funny, man.
That movie's had amazing staying power.
Of course. Well, it's great. It's a love story about that takes place in the NFL, and it actually took place in the NFL. A lot of movies that are about the NFL, they don't get permission to use NFL teams, and Jerry Maguire got permission. It was really cool. Big deal to work with Tom Cruise and Cuba Gooding and Renee Zellweger and Bonnie Hunt, and it was such a big deal for me. It was really around like a lot of stars and everything, and it was exciting. I was a little nervous about working, obviously, with Tom Cruise and Beau Bridges, but not as nervous as I was that first day I took over Wendy. That was
like a close second.
Scariest. No, it wasn't even.
Not even on the same stratosphere?
I gotta tell you, I learned how to snowboard as an adult, and that wasn't even nearly as scary as before those Wendy doors opened, and I had to talk for 20 minutes to the camera by myself.
It's in a whole different category.
Yeah, it was really fun. It's also fun to be part of like a highfalutin movie. Like Jerry Maguire is a highfalutin movie.
I mean, you want to talk about catchphrases? Those are catchphrases that still have
Well, of course. Show me the money.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe that could be my catchphrase. What's up? Welcome to the Jerry O Show, August 12th. Show me the money. You think they'd be cool with that? Like Cameron Crowe, who directed
Hey, I was
Jerry
in
Maguire?
it. Can I just take it from Cuba? No biggie. Come on, man.
What was another one? Help me, help you. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Jerry O Show, August 12th on Fox Stations. Help me, help you.
And here's what's going on in the news today.
So many quotes from that movie. When Tom Cruise is in the bathroom going, help me, help you.
There's so many moments like that. It's crazy. And for a movie that happened in the 90s, you can still connect to it today. So good. Definitely. One of my favorites that you did was Kangaroo Jack.
Okay. Right.
How often do you get asked about that movie?
You know what's funny is Kangaroo Jack, let me just explain, was a kid's film I did.
Right.
Produced by the amazing Jerry Bruckheimer.
It's you, Anthony Anderson.
Myself, Anthony Anderson. Michael Shannon. I mean, amazing cast. Christopher Walken.
That's
I'm not
right.
kidding. And I play a low-level mafioso who goes to Australia to make a mob payment. And my friend and I, Anthony Anderson, hit a kangaroo in our car, put a sweatshirt that Anthony Anderson is wearing on a kangaroo, and the kangaroo wakes up. We think it's dead, to take a photo with it. And the kangaroo wakes up and runs away in the sweatshirt with the $10,000, the mob payment we're supposed to make.
When you get pitched that, you must have been like, are you serious? This is actually a thing?
I mean, it was really one of the most fun things
I'm sure
I've
you're
ever
like,
worked
when
on.
you saw everybody that was involved, you're
first
like,
of all,
why not?
Anthony Anderson and I got to run around Australia for 6 months.
So there you go. That's great.
I have children and a wife, and that's all very exciting. But being with Anthony Anderson in Australia may have been the peak of my life right there. Getting to work with Jerry Bruckheimer also, and seeing how the big time producers produce.
Yeah.
Like their little notes, you know. It's just it's funny. Like when I was in Kangaroo Jack, my character his name was Charlie Carbone. By the way, this is the deepest I've ever talked about Kangaroo Jack.
I'm so happy.
This is like a deep dive.
Thank you for giving me that honor.
CBS.com, everybody. My character Charlie Carbone is from Brooklyn.
Right.
And so, you know, the first couple of days of shooting, I'm from New York. I can do a pretty
Right,
good.
you're doing the Brooklyn accent.
I can do a pretty good New York accent, you know. I mean, I saw Goodfellas. I know how it goes, you know. And, you know, I was doing it like this. And it's so funny. Mr. Bruckheimer was tweaking my accent. He would, like, give me, like, little notes on my accent and be like, you know, make sure it's not too much here, too much there, you know, because I like my movies to play a little wider. And he just really helped me out with notes. It was really fun to watch how the big time players play.
Who are some other people you've interacted with throughout all your projects? Like little moments like that. Like that's a great example of who Jerry Bruckheimer is. Who's somebody else that's really had an impact on you like that?
I have to say, getting back earlier, getting to sit alongside Kelly Ripa for all those episodes, it changed. It changed what I thought about a career in entertainment. You know, I mean, I was an actor until I met Kelly Ripa, and Kelly is like the one who said to me, "Hey, man, you're really good. You're really good at sitting here and talking. You
should go for it. Yeah.
This is like the job is you come in and you get to a few stories and you communicate with people and you know you connect with people and you're good at it." And then I think also watching as a fan and then getting to work alongside Wendy Williams as well. Wendy's something special. I mean, Wendy's just something special. She's just one of a kind. There is no, I mean, I'm sure there's like a showbiz adage, like, you know, make sure you stand out from a crowd, or make sure, like, make your mark, or I'm sorry I don't have like an
one
adage.
of those old school sayings.
Yeah, I'm bad at catchphrases and I'm bad at like adages, but Wendy truly is. There is no one else. No one else can do what Wendy does. No one else can do what Wendy Williams does, and it's why it's fun to have basically a spin-off from her show.
Yeah, totally.
Because obviously no one can recreate what Wendy does, but if I can just get a little bit of her magic and
sprinkle it on Jerry O.
and transfer it to the Jerry O show, August 12th, it'll there might be something there, you know? I mean, you hope. Listen, Dr. Phil, that came out of the Oprah show. Dr. Oz, that came out of Oprah.
All the different Judge Judy shows that have happened as a result.
Hot Bench, hello CBS.
Yep.
You know,
people love daytime TV.
Yeah, like, Wendy is my Oprah.
There you go.
I'm her Dr. Phil. I'm trying to work on my Dr. Phil accent, but it's just not. It's not quite there. It's still a little Clinton-esque.
You're getting there, yeah. You got some time to work it out.
So your daughter is not very obedient. So you are not a very obedient daughter. Cash you outside.
Every day, Dr. Phil, 3 o'clock pops on.
Dr. Phil, man.
Talk
Let me
about
tell you,
a
he's
legend.
one of a kind, too.
Yeah.
That guy, we watch Dr. Phil. That's appointment television in our house because I have 2 daughters who are 10. And speaking of daytime TV,
They're all in.
I love Dr. Phil with my daughters because I'm always mad at my daughters for doing whatever.
Regardless.
And then we see whatever crazy daughter he brings out on that show. My daughters look like angels next to me. I made you famous, Dr. Phil. I made you famous. Thank you. Remember that clip when the Cash You Outside girl?
Absolutely.
You hadn't seen the clip.
Oh, you definitely have.
Cash You
That's a good
Outside,
one.
how about that girl?
That's a great
Tells
one.
Dr. Phil that she made him famous. I made you famous, Dr. Phil. I made you famous.
Can you imagine him sitting there being like, really?
He was still,
Serious?
and he went, oh, thank you. We were joking. Oh, Dr. Phil, singing of catchphrases. I was joking with my wife. My wife, I was joking with her that maybe I'm sorry, I just woke up in this interview.
You're
so
good.
This is the
Hey,
time
I like
I'm just
it.
hitting
I
my
like
stride. I was thinking with my wife, you know how in Dr. Phil he always like grabs his wife's hands and like walks off? I was thinking maybe in one, like my wife is like in the audience and I grab her hand and we like walk off.
There
But
you
we
go.
have to have some sort of beat at the end.
Yeah, you have to.
Maybe
Have to
maybe
stick
the
it.
funny beat will be like grab her hand at the end of the show and we walk off and then we go outside. We have a dog here too. He's a really cute dog. I love him. Oh, he's the best. And maybe like at the end we like walk outside the building and my wife was like, okay, that's it, and like leaves me with the dog and then
I
walks
like
away.
that. Like, and that's our show today.
See that? We're working out bits for the
There
Jerry
you
Hill
go.
show.
Have your daughters seen your old stuff? Like, have your daughters seen Billions? Have your daughters seen any of the old
My
movies?
daughters haven't seen Billions. This is a photo of me and Billions
That's you and
being very
Billions?
serious. This is Paul Giamatti charging me with insider trading.
Yep.
And threatening me with jail time. If you haven't seen the first season,
Well,
this is the first
This
season.
is the first season. So at this
Yeah.
point, let's hope so.
So I don't want to. Well, I mean, like some people.
Some people haven't dived in.
streamed. They're waiting to stream it all. Look how serious I am.
I know
there,
this is quite a difference from the
Look,
guy
a
that's
little
right
bit of
here.
gray hair there. Being
Yep, a little touch of gray.
Really fun. It was so great watching.
Yeah,
Paul.
what was it like jumping in this world?
Man, Paul Giamatti and Damian Lewis and Maggie Siff.
Yeah.
All of them. But Paul Giamatti, I'm sitting across from him in this, and he's just hitting like a monologue about what he's going to do to me, how he could charge me, what my options are. And he just comes in and rolls it out. He's so, and each one is a little bit different. He's just one of the greatest living actors out there. And it was a lesson. I literally pulled out my composition book just watching him, and I was like, today's lesson, watch Paul Giamatti and be quiet. And you're just sitting across one of the greatest living actors of today.
Yeah, definitely. Who else has been somebody that's had a profound impact on you?
Damian
like
Lewis is really fun to watch. You know what's
Yeah.
funny about my character is he jumps in between Damian Lewis's world
Right.
at Axe Capital and getting busted by Paul Giamatti, you know? And so I get to act with both of them, so it's really fun. Because a lot of times you're either at Axe Capital
Totally.
or you're
and
one
you're
of the
kind of in between
prosecutors.
there. Yeah.
But it's really fun to bounce in between them. He's a lot of fun. It's a highfalutin show.
Absolutely.
I really enjoy going there.
No,
And-
they've nailed it. They really have in terms of really just understanding what that world's like.
And the people who run it, Koppelman and Levine, they're so great. They're so in that world, and it's just it's really fun. It's like highfalutin acting, you know? You're really like putting on a character and playing somebody
Absolutely.
a little bit older.
Stepping outside yourself a little bit. Yeah.
It's just not me. I'm the opposite of whatever
Stern, serious. Yeah.
whatever a fund manager is, a fund, someone who runs $1 billion fund, that is the opposite of me. I have terrible credit. I'm in debt. But there's $1 on my Metro card.
There you go. That's real life right there.
Still afraid. I can't wait in the line. Every time I go to the line at the Metro card, for those that don't live in New York, you got to fill up your subway card. It's a whole thing.
I feel you. So what else haven't you done yet that you'd like to do? I mean, you've acted, you're hosting, you've written stuff. What else is out there for you?
You know what? I'm just gonna chill out with the hosting thing a little bit.
Seems
it's
like a
tiring.
good deal.
When they call a show the Jerry O Show, August 12th on Fox Stations, it's like work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not complaining. It's a lot of fun, but it's like, you know, we're doing like sketches, we're pitching sketches, I'm taping bits.
You guys doing interviews as well?
Doing a lot of interviews,
cool.
Going out on the street with cameras. It's a hustle.
Yeah, oh, no question. Yeah.
It's a hustle, but you know, we're not just phoning it in. We're not just. Listen. I thought maybe having a talk show was like you just show up for an hour, do it, and then just go home. But
not like that. Yeah.
It's not.
If you're
the case
serious
at all.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, the real deal.
It's like, what's the word? It's like work.
Well, Jerry, it's been a lot of fun, man.
Thanks,
Thank you so much.
Appreciate
August
you.
12th, Jerry O Show.
Yes.
That's Jerry on DJ. We'll see you next time here on The Sit Down.